Welcome to Redvee TV, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2022 season. And it is game week, and with only 3 days to go, we continue our build-up to the Betfred Super League season with our player previews. And today, Kevin, it's our new number 3, our new signing.
It's Will Hopoate.
Will Hopoate, proudly sponsored by RSM for the 2022 season. RSM, the global destination for all of your audit, tax and consulting needs.
Global as well. Pretty good, isn't it?
Well, global signings get global sponsors. Will Hopoate, nearly 200 appearances, Kevin, the NRL. You don't make that many appearances without being a player with class.
Yes, true. Yeah, nail on the head there. He's got to have something about him to have made that many appearances down there. And we've been, obviously, with Kevin Nagama going back and getting his contract in the NRL as well. He's gone to the Roosters, hasn't he? We needed a good replacement. I think people would have been looking at maybe, would we promote someone from within? Josh Sim, maybe, with him being the one who's made more appearances for Saints. But you've got to mix your youth players with established and international players. You've got to. That balance is what has made us a champion team over the past couple of years. And if his debut in Alex Walmsley's testimonial is anything to go by, he looks like a very, very slick operator. Yeah,
I think we were talking at that game, and I think we were saying he just looked like a Rolls Royce. He just looks smooth, elegant, and just you could just see he had that air of class about him. And you do get the impression that he could really turn it on this season. And I think potentially defensively may shore us up a little bit more than Kevin Nagama did in that position as well.
Yeah, possibly. That's it. I mean, you see on the caption there, he can play fullback as well. He played on the wing in that game. He can play a little bit of 6 as well. So he's going to bring something to us. He's obviously got something about him, as you say. And I expect him to start on the wing for the season, because I think, as Christian Wolf alluded to after that game, that him and Harrell would form a partnership over there, with Regan Grace missing. But yeah, you're right. Hopefully he doesn't make lies out of us when we said how slick he looked, how easy he made the game look. It was a good introduction for him.
He's a man with strong religious beliefs. Earlier in his career, he missed 2 years to take on a Mormon mission. And earlier in his career, he wouldn't play on Sundays. I think he's actually reversed that now, which is quite lucky for us, because we've got quite a few Sunday fixtures this season, Kev.
Yeah, we've just been talking about one, haven't we, as well, before we started filming. Yeah, listen, a guy who's got his beliefs, and fair play to him. That's up to him. So nobody else to judge or pick holes in or anything like that. It's just good that with them Sunday games, hopefully we'll be available for them.
Another Tongan connection as well with Christian Wolf. Christian Wolf will know what he's all about. And you just wonder how influential Christian Wolf was in bringing Will over.
Yeah, it probably has had a big burden on it. And even though, like Wolf said himself, this is his last season at Saints, isn't it? Even that, though it's just 1 year, it will have had a big sway, because if you're treated right as a player by a coach, then you're going to want to play for them. And Christian Wolf's done great things with Tonga. He's done great things with St Helens. You put them two together, why wouldn't you want to come across and play for us?
Now, Will obviously has joined us from the Canterbury Bulldogs. Made 24 appearances from last season. And do you know what? Playing in the NRL, obviously they won or claimed the wooden spoon last season. It's going to be a big difference for him coming into a side that is in good form and hopefully challenging at the top of the table.
Yeah, it's similar to James Bell coming in from Lee, isn't it? Where they've been coming in from a struggling team and kind of seen the culture of a team who are at the correct end of the table, or the end of the table that you want to be. Listen, I'm sure he's still as consummate a professional when he's on a losing team as he is when he's on a winning team. And I'm sure it's just a happier place to be around when you are stringing them wins together. Hopefully he can help us string some wins together early in the season.
And as well, Kev, he has state of origin experience in Australia. The second youngest ever player to play for the Blues. But you know the first, Kev.
No, because I don't care.
Neither do I, so we're not going to give you the answer either.
I'm not bothered. States of origin for me is a complete other thing that the Aussies see it as the pinnacle of the game, and the international game should be the pinnacle of the game. So I'm not giving it the fuel that it wants.
You just have, right?
Good point.
Yeah. When obviously you mentioned earlier, he will predominantly and probably always play centre for us. As you mentioned earlier, he can play fullback as well. He did represent Tonga at fullback against the Australian Kangaroos in 2018. So it's a position he can play and play at a really high level if it ever does come to that.
Yeah, that's it. And it gives you them options because obviously we've spoken about our halfbacks already. And if he needs to, if Jack Wellesby gets moved up into 6 or 7 because one of the Lomax or Dodd are missing, then you've got that solid fullback there. And that's even taken away from the fact, I mean, we have got the likes of John Bennis and Danny Hill who can play fullback as well. But it's just that experience that could go in there for a game or two, and it shouldn't affect them too much. It's just, it's another, as you say, it's another high level player who can play in a number of different positions. So listen, if he's needed, he might be the one who jumps into 6 instead. If one of them gets injured or suspended or is rested, it might just be him who jumps in there instead. Remains to be seen.
Is that the one thing from all of these previews that we've done in the build-up to the new season, Kev? Just how versatile our squad is. Although everybody's got key positions, there is the ability for them to play in another position at a high level. Yeah.
And I think it's important, isn't it? Again, we always mention salary cap sport. You can only have so many players fitting under that salary cap. So to have them being able to play in 1, 2, 3 positions at that high of a level it's so important to a team. And it looks like we've got a nice little balance of players who can slot in, and hopefully it is only for a game or two. Hopefully we're not struck by any injuries, and it's just the odd little rest here, and I know we're going to get suspensions across the season. It always happens. But yeah, that's it. It's great for the team, isn't it?
It is indeed. Right, Kev, that is our number 3. Will Hopoate, sponsored by RSM for the 2022 season, done and dusted. We're nearly at the end, Kev. It's been a slog if people have stuck with us this long. But do you know what? We're nearly done. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And we'll catch you tomorrow for Redvee TV.